The latest developments for Blue Blood's Danny Reagan suggest that I've been worrying about the fate of the wrong Reagan. For the past 14 years, the iconic Reagan dinners in Blue Bloods have made this fictional clan feel like part of my real family. Unfortunately, CBS has cancelled Blue Bloods, which means the series must wrap up each member's story, and there's a possibility that some characters' stories will end in disappointing ways. There have been persistent rumors about a possible death in Blue Blood series finale since the show's cancellation was announced. These theories make sense from the perspective that the ending needs to make it clear that the show is over, and a main character dying would accomplish this goal. While I hope Blue Bloods doesn't go in this direction, there is one character death that makes more sense than the others. However, the events of Blue Blood Season 14, Episode 13 cast doubt on this possibility, suggesting that another character may be in for a heartbreaking end instead. Blue Blood's finale Henry death theory explained. The series appeared to be dropping large hints that the patriarch's days were numbered. Henry seemed like the most likely candidate for death before the final half of Blue Blood Season 14 began. He's in his 80s and has had multiple health issues in the past, including a heart attack during one of Blue Blood's best episodes and a prostate cancer scare. Henry is important to every member of the Reagan family but often plays a peripheral role, which would make his death poignant while leaving the door open for other characters to return for a spin-off or reunion movie in the future. The CBS procedural also appeared to be dropping hints as to Henry's fate. Blue Blood Season 14, Episode 11 included Henry commenting that Jack Boyle would be on the outs with the family until I die, which could have been a foreshadowing of his death. I became even more convinced that Henry would die at the end of the series when the next episode featured him asking for a living wake at the family dinner table, explaining he'd rather the family express their love and eulogize him while he was alive to hear it than wait until he was dead. This discussion of Henry's mortality and the need to honor him in a way reserved only for the dead, especially when coupled with the line the week before, were strong clues to Henry's potential fate. While the living wake could have been meant as a nostalgic wrap-up for his character near the series' end, it wasn't connected to any of the Blue Bloods episode storylines. Thus, it felt like it was added for the sole purpose of telegraphing Henry's impending demise. Blue Blood Season 14, Episode 13 hints Danny will die, not Henry. Henry is his usual feisty self, while Danny seems worn out. Danny, Donnie Wahlberg, at a crime scene in Blue Bloods. Blue Blood Season 14, Episode 13 is one of the few episodes in Season 14 to give Henry a storyline. He spent most of the episode butting heads with Erin, who is angry that he is testifying for the defense in a case involving an ex-cop accused of killing someone via a chokehold. In the end, Henry proves he is as feisty as ever when he uses his time on the stand to destroy the defense's argument instead of supporting it. Conversely, Danny seems worn out throughout the Blue Bloods episode, which makes me concerned about his future. Although Danny is still relatively young, he is having a hard time climbing a couple of flights of stairs to get to a crime scene and seems overly tired throughout the episode. He later implies that his exhaustion is psychological, commenting maybe it isn't my knees that are worn out. Regardless of whether his exhaustion is physical, psychological, or both, Danny is not his usual energetic self, which is worrisome. How Danny's current situation could be setting up his tragedy. Danny's exhaustion could be fatal in several ways. Blue Bloods Bugs and Danny standing by a fence trying to look inconspicuous. Danny is one of the sharpest detectives on the force, but exhaustion can dull his instincts. If his problem is more serious, it is more likely that he will make a fatal error, which could lead to him getting injured in the line of duty. While this seems plausible, I hope the series doesn't end on this note. The death of Blue Blood's Joe Reagan before the series began has been painful enough for the Reagans, and it would be heartbreaking for the show to end with them losing his brother in the same manner. I'd prefer it if Blue Bloods ended with Danny deciding to retire because he is burned out. However, his exhaustion suggests that he could have a medical issue that could lead to tragedy. It would be a painful ending if the series kills off one of its most popular characters during its final hours. Unfortunately, Danny's energy level during Blue Blood Season 14, Episode 13 suggests this is a possibility.